We've talked a lot about KD, but not much about his team.
Oh, because they're trash.
Yeah, the Nets are locked into the play-in and are currently the 10 seed.
10 seed.
What's the biggest problem for the Nets? Steve Nash, Kyrie, or how good the East is?
Okay, so it's not how good the East is because I understand early in the year it's like, oh, the Cavs are frisky, but they're not.
Celtics are over there too.
The Celtics, but so here's the thing. The Cavs are frisky. No, they're not. The Bulls, they have fallen off a bit. The Celtics Robert Williams was like low-key really important for them, and he's out the next 6 weeks, if not longer. And Philly still has trouble closing games. So aside from Milwaukee, it should be there for the taking for Brooklyn. Unfortunately, Brooklyn stinks. And so here, let me start on Kyrie, then I'll get to Nash. Because it's not just Nash, and it's not just Kyrie, but they're both culpable. So just some facts for you. In games Kyrie Irving has played this season, the Nets not only have the worst defensive rating in basketball, they have the worst defensive rating in basketball history. So you're not going to win with the worst defense ever. Here's another fun fact for you. Remember when Kyrie, every game he played, he was the freshest guy on either team because he was playing once a week like he was in the Premier League. So now that he has to play a full schedule, he's shooting 36% and averaging 21 per game. Also, the 7 games this year Kyrie has played the most minutes, the Nets are 0-7. So that's a problem. And I'm not saying people are going to aggregate this and they're going to screw me on this. They're going to say, oh, Nick Wright said Kyrie Irving's a double agent. I'm not saying Kyrie's a double agent. Meaning working against the team. What I am saying is if Kyrie were a double agent, what would he have done differently this year? Not get backs. Beef with it, somehow have the Harden relationship sour so much they end up trading Harden and getting a guy in Ben Simmons who doesn't play basketball seemingly anymore, play unbelievable just to give the team just enough hope until he's allowed to play every day and then go on the take. And then even this weekend, KD had 55 points on 28 shots. Kyrie had 31 points on 32 shots. How does Kyrie take more shots than KD in the game this weekend? So again, I'm not saying Kyrie, I think Kyrie truly wants the Nets to win and wants to win. I'm not saying he's a double agent. What I'm saying is, if he were a double agent, would he be doing anything differently? Which brings me to Steve Nash. If Steve Nash were a coach that was in way over his head, had no idea what he was doing, and had no moves to make, oh wait, that's not a hypothetical, that's just what he is. I mean, listen, Steve Nash, a nice guy, but hiring a fan, which is what he is essentially, to coach this team. Demasi.
A fan?
Yeah. He could have picked someone out of the stands at Barclays. We could have picked the whammy guy, the old man who stands behind the baskets at Nets games and tries to put the whammy on the free throw shooters. He wouldn't be doing worse than Nash.
Not every fan wins an MVP.
Not every fan wins an MVP. That's fair. No. And by the way, Steve Nash, with the way Patty Mills is playing, his best contribution to the team might be if he could suit up. Certainly wouldn't hurt their defense. I mean, the worst defense ever. But so there are little small things that if you watch the Nets, you're like, oh, okay, they don't have a coach. It's not they're poorly coached. They don't have a coach. So here's one of them. On free throws, when the other team is shooting free throws, you know who very often lines up on the low block, the rebounding position? Kyrie. Yeah. You know why? Because he wants to. You know whose job it is to be like, hey, buddy, you go anywhere else, but you're the smallest guy on the court. You probably shouldn't be in defensive box out position. The coach. But Nash ain't going to do that. So no, the Nets are...
He's a player's coach.
Yeah, a player's coach. Yeah. He's a player who happens to be coaching. There's a difference. So it's all of the above. No depth, no defense, no home court advantage, the whole thing. They are sunk, man. They might not get out of the play-in. And if they do, the Heat or whomever's the 1 seed is going to absolutely annihilate them. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.